Okay, let's start hour number 4 of this game, and hope the real game starts, I guess. I was thinking about this a little bit, because they keep taking me back to this menu, but then not letting me make any choices or interact or anything. They keep making me just click on the thing they want me to click on next over and over again. And, like, I've learned over the years that, like, for me, I learn when I have to think about stuff, and when I don't have to think about stuff, I don't learn as much. So just explaining to me what to do endlessly for hours, but in effect just making me click on the thing that you're highlighting over and over again is usually less effective than something that I would learn by, like, playing the game. I don't know. It feels odd. Like, I so far look at this menu and think, this entire menu being gone might make the entire game better? And, like, we'll see if it all comes together at some point. But it really does feel like you should be able to look at your, like, documents and stuff in game and not have to come here. And by and large, this menu, like, if they wanted to restrict which zones you go to at what order at the beginning of the game, they could have done it in the same way that they, you know, already have. I was about to use BioShock as an example, but, like, Prey also, like, had a giant interconnected world thing going on. But, like, it's a very simple matter of just not being able to open certain doors without certain abilities or certain, like, access codes and so on. And so that's how you restrict access throughout the world. Instead of being like, here's some tunnels, they connect to all of the zones, but we're making you go here now, and now we're making you go here now. It's like, you can restrict the player in more organic ways than that. And it's kind of feels better if the world is interconnected and they, like, exist in one space, and you can, like, move from one zone to another, even if there are loading screens at the transitions, which is fine. But instead we have this, which is stranger, because this menu just feels like a strange feature so far. I don't know. We'll see if it starts to come into its own being now that once the game stops hand-holding incessantly. Because so far I've just been having to do whatever they tell me to. And attempts to explore have so far not been very rewarding, which is why I'm doing it less. They also said no more hand-holding, and then they kept holding my hand, which was very funny.
What do I have to lose?
Well, if you die, your weapons, for one. Unless, of course, you succeed, then you get to keep them.
I am always succeeding, even when I'm not.
Okay.
How do I keep my weapons again?
The infusion process? Isn't that why you came up here?
Not gonna lie. Me told me to.
You're not the only one with other me's, you know. You're not special.
Yeah, but if I succeed...
Yeah, if. Good luck.
This infusion keeps sounding better and better.
So she also has other Julianas that she's met. Okay. I'm interested in the setting and the characters. Oh, we're back here at that building. Right, the one I was trying to get into before also. I'm gonna keep moving forward linearly and unlocking features or whatever until it feels like I'm supposed to explore. Because so far it's felt unhelpful to do so. But yeah, not gonna lie, it kind of bothers me that the game had this very tongue-in-cheek dialogue moment, which I took to be pretty funny and self-aware, that like, oh, okay, they know what they did moment. Pick it up. Where the game was like, okay, no more hand-holding. But then the game proceeded to hand-hold more, and you're like, oh, that's not, you lied to me. You lied to me. It comes across as kind of unpolished because it's such a direct talk to the character, talk to the player directly moment, and then it's not true, and you're like, oh, okay, well, so much for that. Because what happens is, like, right after that, they take me back to the same menu I've been at every time, which is what I associate with hand-holding more than anything, is that between missions menu. where they constantly just highlight a thing and say click on it over and over again, and then they explain why I'm clicking on it. Nobody hears them scream. They explain why I'm clicking on it, but I'm still just like clicking what they tell me to over and over and over and over, and mostly the menu doesn't have any other buttons or interactions, so I can't make any changes or choices or really think about why I'm doing it. So it doesn't get internalized the same way as it would be if I was actually learning instead of just being guided step by step. Safety for a moment. But yeah, like right after he said no more hand-holding, when I did get back, they put me back in the menu again, and they once again were like, okay. They explained that certain things only happen at certain times of day. So, instead of giving me that information, then setting me loose to do what I want with that information, they're like, go to this specific zone at this specific time. Oh no, you can't do that right now though because of the time of day. So now you have to click on the go forward through time button. Click it, it's right here. Click it, click it, click it, click it, click it. And I'm like, you just said no hand-holding, game. You just told me that. You just told me that. Surprisingly bullet resistant. I'm very amused by this incredibly intense knockback. Shh. 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 Quiet. But hopefully this intro is over soon. I just had false hope that it was over when they said it was over, but then it wasn't over. Well. Oh boy. Oh shit! I heard her voice, but I could not see her. Maybe nervous. Huh. Oh boy. Oh boy. I am stuck in a spiraling stealth collapse. God damn this gun. It's nuts. Okay, things could have gone better. I need to get better at the stealth. It feels harder to maintain than in some of the other previous games. Probably because you were so mobile in Dishonored that you can get around more. But in this game I'm just a guy. I briefly got to play around with the teleporty type move. But that pretty much went away. That causes all sorts of problems for me. Hey buddy.
Should've known. This ain't gonna be easy.
Wenji plural? Are you telling me that the word Wenji is a plural word? Is that the implicate? Hello.
I'm feeling just fine.
This one's covered in wacky stickers! Attention all Wenjis. Yep. To avoid loss of productivity, activate system... active system only in... Oh, yeah, it was activate. I didn't imagine that the first time. Activate system only in case of catastrophic biological containment failure within the central facility. Randomized each loop in accordance to Evans' law of variation and basic security. 2601 is the lockdown code. I'm no expert. Oh, wait, I am. Why is there so much flavor text?
Don't get greedy, Colt.
Like a lot of alternative flavor text after a thing I just picked up, but it goes away immediately, so I can't read it in the pop-up. Very well. Feel weird about that interface choice. Hello. Hello. Okay, some... How do I look at my documents again? Was it 2601? Can't type them? It's still here, right? It is 2601. So it just doesn't go to that, right? I'm trying to learn whether or not it tells you every password you know in the game, or only after you've used them once. It might be the first one, which is what I was hoping. So these just aren't the right doors for this. This is something else. It makes you unhappy and then you die. It's air ventilation when you pull that lever, I guess. Take that to be what's going on there. So all of these are alternate possible Wenjis. We don't know exactly which Wenji is Wenji. Oh boy! That was not a, that's not a camera. Oh, it still sees me. Okay, bye. I thought it was a camera. That's my bad. I don't think there's any more healing bits down here. I done fucked up. There's so much clutter that almost looks like it could be like some kind of audio log or something. I keep kind of doing double takes. There we go, just barely.
Already got full ammo.
This is Dr. Wenji Evans. As the head scientist of the Eon program, I was tasked with creating a highly interdependent thermodynamic system that would allow us to harness the vast energy produced by Blackreef's anomaly. With some ingenious reverse engineering, I was able to repurpose the stabilizer antenna to harness power from the anomaly and drive it into the core. By placing myself and the other visionaries at the center of the stabilizer core, I was able to imbue the anomaly's energy into us. Now we are the ballast. The visionaries are the loop. And I can still perform field tests on the breach phenomenon without endangering the program. Barring any failure of our protocol, which would be, well, catastrophic, we should experience the loop every day for approximately 13,562 years. Shit. It's too bad I'm gonna end the program after 50. This will be my last recorded tape before the loop initiates. In less than an hour. The first day. The time is 23:42 in the evening. The date is... whatever. It's 1963.
Was not expecting the many looping conversations. I wasn't expecting to enter a room full of conversation while that was still playing. I guess the conversation that I could have listened to is now over and now they're patrolling, so I missed something. Whoops. Man, I really wish I had that teleport ability. It's so effective. Unless this person makes themselves vulnerable, this is kind of a hard room to navigate. Hello.
All right, got 10 of you left.
How do you know exactly how many are left? Are you, I guess you've been keeping count? Whoa! Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Can't catch me now.
I'm good.
We're talking, and the clock is ticking. But which clock? Look, it's important. Scientific. Your definition of
She's undeniable. Shit.
the same as you. This
Louder than I hoped. Ow. Okay. Not what I hoped for. Man, they're perceptive in this game. It's a little bit of a strange... The balance feels a little weird so far, at least for my experience. Where the combat's really easy, but the stealth is really hard. So it keeps degrading into a mindless shooting fest that's pretty easy to win. And that doesn't feel amazing? But oftentimes I'm like, I don't know how to get away from besides just booking it, I guess. I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of solutions for the stealth going bad. And they're pretty perceptive. And have a decent amount of coverage. They're just kind of everywhere. I don't know. Oh, did I finish hacking this? I did. Okay. Well. Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Where'd you come from? Open the door! Open the door! Fucking. Ow, by the way. That could have gone better. God damn it. I see someone that's rife for sneaking up on. I'm like, alright, here's my chance. But every risk I take so far immediately results in the loss of stealth. You just call me why does this door keep doing that? Anybody else, y'all? I'm a little afraid of what if this is a shitty pistol? Because categorically it feels like something that could use to replace my hello. I could use it to replace my machine pistol. That's like the intuitive thing I would do, but my machine pistol is reliably the best weapon in the game, so I'm afraid to replace it with anything else, because I can so easily just pick people off with headshots in many situations. So I don't trust. Like, what if it's like the nail gun where it feels like it's not a good replacement? Gifts from the anomaly. Confirmed byproducts of the anomaly. Slabs. Metallic temporal induction arrays traced with stabilized residuum. Can manipulate anomaly, manifesting severe localized distortions in FaceTime. Spacetime. Did I say spacetime? Did I say FaceTime? Trinkets. Residuum infused objects that warp local spacetime in minor predictable ways. Residuum. Temporally alien metamaterial, highly unstable. Energy matter external to spacetime? Theorized byproducts of creating loop, likely. Visitors, temporally alien individuals, people from other timelines, composed of residuum, possible resource. The people are resources, that's distressing. Breaches, spacetime fused across multiple timelines, manifest as ruptures in space. Ravaging, negative impact on local spacetime from strain of exponential recursion proliferation, potential scale global. Are you trying to end the world and also the universe and also the timeline? You playing with space fire? Time fire? Fire fire? You're pulsy, aren't ya? Oop. Oh, that's the I keep thinking of peek as being like a chance to look at something. When it's just the fact that if you aim at a wall, you'll automatically aim around it. Which is an interesting feature I never use. I don't think about it during combat. And I guess it's just easy enough just to WASD around instead of time crisising it. There are still more Wenjis to hunt. I remember this room. I was there before. There is a whole health station and everything. Portable harvester.
An observation from this morning's early announcements. The notable leap in the skill and proficiency of Eternalists Colt and Juliana. Yes, and two truths have become apparent. One, the time loop has been active for some time, and both of them retain their memories from each loop iteration, while others, most notably ourselves, do not. Oh, for fuck's sake, stop interrupting me. If this is correct, we can reasonably assume that every day, for X amount of time, we have made similar observations. We then focused our efforts on preserving knowledge and memory across iterations. Which means, despite us being able to propagate this timeline, we have clearly repeated these early stages of research multiple times, without a breakthrough. An obvious conclusion, one we've likely made before to no effect. And so these dubious experiments with residuum infusion to retain items, trinkets across iterations. If we can retain trinkets, perhaps we can retain ourselves.
Okay, so they are repeatedly rediscovering things and then unlearning them? Which something like that happened to Cole, where this version of Cole forgot whatever he's learned over time, including his own name and so on. So something wipes people's memories, but asynchronously, because Juliana also, if Juliana does lose her memory, she did not do it at the same time that we did, because she still remembered stuff when we didn't. Okay, you can farm. You can. Okay. Her own best rat. So I can use this to harvest from the bodies? That's the glowy thing that was around for a while? Unknown unknowns. Observation. Confirmed success of anchoring the loop to the visionaries via anomaly. Unfortunately, anomaly still produces only trace amounts of unstable residuum. Fine for trinkets, acceptable for slabs, completely inadequate for infusion. Confirmed existence of visitor objects. Complication. I predicted superimposition would occur only in later recursions. Presence of first day suggests that it is not first day. Probably. Confirmed visitor object consistent primarily with residuum. Consist primarily of it. Oh, can I use this to farm the weird purple spots? Are those visitor objects? Extrapolation. A scaled-down version of the loop stabilization process should anchor an infused object, trinket, weapon to an individual visionary, me, transforming it into a permanent visitor that persists over subsequent recursions. The harvester's ready, the infuser's ready, I'm ready, only the question of residuum remains. Reap what you sow. Each visionary contains significant residuum reservoirs, but the harvesting process is almost certainly lethal. Killing visionaries risks loop instability. Obvious solution: visitor visionaries to test during breach experiment. Experiment semi-successful. When multiple visitors of a single individual are manifested, killing any given one collapses the residuum load into the remaining visitors, preventing immediate harvest. Killing every version of myself would produce requisite residuum for infusion, but then I'd be dead. Unacceptable. Can't slot the harvester into the infuser as a corpse, or benefit from infusion. Need someone else. Alexis could be enticed easily enough, but I need 20 Dorseys like I need an orbital lobotomy. Colt's gone rogue. Too dangerous to replicate. Charlie?
I kill all the wedgies, and I can use this thing to collect the residuum I need to get her machine running. That makes sense, yeah.
It's very funny that everyone very clearly hates Alexis collectively. Hey! It does collect the purple stuff. And then does a loud beep. Just the loudest beep of them all. Can I rebalance the audio in this thing? I was thinking about that. Kind of generally thought that the speech could be louder and other things could be... Just could generally stand out differently. Yeah, I can still hold a gun. I just have to right click.
Alright. Yes, I wouldn't even know where to begin. This is an important...
Hi. You guys have a good chat?
Somehow, feels worse than just killing her.
Oh! Hi. Ow. That one looks around pretty rapidly, doesn't it? Any more? When I see these guys, I feel like I can almost hear the wee like drone noise from BioShock 1. Go. Just would like to make very sure you're all on my side. Hello.
Wedgies. Notes for today's breach experiment. 1. Due to Colt's betrayal, I had to link the security system to the depressurization controls. Sterilization will trigger only if the traitor is detected on the premises. 2. As per Evans' law of variation, the relevant security codes may be in a different location than in your timeline. Mine are in the bottom section of the lab annex.
Seems like a good precaution to make in case stuff comes at me. So about the sterilization process. How much danger am I in? Hello. Those are a trip. Oops. I meant to shoot. God damn it. God damn it. Did I just fail the entire mission? That's why I said loop and return. It wants me to leave. Did I... Man. Man. God fucking damn it. That fucking throw button, god damn it. God damn. Is there any benefit to even surviving at this point? Like because I lose everything, right? They're even saying to loop, which suggests that I have to like fail and start over. That's the wrong cave. God damn it. You killed the visionary and slipped away into the tunnels. Yep. But I didn't accomplish the thing I was here to do. Dang it. Okay, so what do I do now story-wise? Alexis invited Wenji to his party. Can't win them all. On Blackreef, death is a setback, and it's a setback you learn from. Sometimes success can take a few tries, and the loop gives you the freedom to do so. One caveat: until you solve your Wenji problem and unlock Infusion, you'll lose all your gear and weaponry you collected over when you start the new loop. You'll always have your trusty machete, your rusty limit 10 and reprise, and a couple of trinkets, but anything you find from the morning will have to be recovered and replaced. You could go after Wenji again. She'll always be at the complex in the afternoon, but it'll be tough with only what Colt kept at the beach. Consider exploring other districts in the morning and at noon, and find slabs and weapons to gain an edge over an Aeon program's chief scientist. Just stay alive until the afternoon. Slabs in particular provide potent supernatural abilities such as teleportation or incredible strength. Kill visionaries and take their slabs for your own. If you want more slabs, consider going after Charlie Montague, whose shift lets you teleport, or Harriet Morse, whose nexus links enemies together. What happens to one, happens to all. As you explore Blackreef, you'll find numerous secrets, codes, clues, and other bits of info about the different districts and time periods. These discoveries are collected here. Many discoveries can be tracked like leads. Finding and making use of discoveries is key to successfully navigating Blackreef and its time loop. Remember, each district offers different opportunities and threats depending on the time of day, and actions in earlier periods can affect later periods. An empty square in morning may become a crowded concert in the afternoon, assuming no major event disrupts the festivities. The Isle of Blackreef is now yours to explore. But tread carefully, other players can invade your game as Juliana, interfering with your mission to break the loop. With this, you can control whether or not the players are allowed into your game. Good luck out there, and remember, on Blackreef, death's just a thing you bounce back from. So now the game starts. That's interesting. It's specifically interesting that the game started over... That the game took the handhold off without me succeeding at that objective, so failing the objective opened the game up. Huh. I can look at my loadout, but ultimately I'm failing my day. I can look at these in general though, just see what they're like. Take less damage when people are near you, party animal. Inflict reduced damage but suffer reduced damage. Deal increased damage when low on health, share the pain. Deal moderately increased damage when attacking from behind. Enemies explosives take longer to detonate. Hacked devices at a greater range. That's a good one. This one's pretty good too. Deal more damage, take more damage. Blast cannon. Those ones are decent. But ultimately I can't complete my objective this loop, so it seems pointless to continue. There are districts with Blackreef during this time period. Are some of them not available at certain time periods? Time always moves forward. It's a lot of, that was a lot of stuff to recap, including, it even talks about clicking this again, of all things. Huh. They're really heavy on the tutorials. I find the setup of the game interesting. Like how the loop works. Just probably doesn't need to be as handheld through the process as it was. I figure I should loop because we have an objective that I've failed. They seem to be suggesting that I'm open to explore now. Okay, so we don't redo the beach thing every time. That's good to know. They just do a little cutscene basically. I lost my train of thought a little bit. Okay. They say I need an edge, but it doesn't seem hard, honestly, to just kill every Wenchi. I think I just will? Oopsie. I already know what leads are. So you always have shock absorber at the beginning. You always pick it up at that one room, regardless of whether or not you actually play at that level. Well, alrighty. My issue is I'm just not necessarily convinced that the Wenjis are hard to kill, and vice versa. Or like on top of that, I'm also just not super.
And sometimes people bend the rules, and sometimes
Blah,
they break
blah,
them.
blah,
Dr.
blah.
Wenji read the rules, then lit the rule
She's
book
a
on fire.
brilliant
She's a
scientist.
brilliant scientist.
Aren't they always brilliant? That's why they're fucking scientists.
Are you talking when I was talking?
Have you? Has he heard her say that so many times that he can repeat it live? But I haven't heard. That's weird. Okay. Huh. It'd be a funny gag if I also had heard that line too many times, but I haven't heard it before, so I'm a little confused. Oh boy. I'd use that increased hacking distance thing right about now. I'm getting a little panicky about the Let's Play part of this component, because it seems like the ideal way of playing a lot of this content is like potentially farming and looping and so on. Replaying the same content a lot to get the stuff you need for that particular loop and so on. And I'm like, I have a series to do, y'all. And I'm already dealing with the guilt of having fucked up one run. I don't want to fuck up more runs. Or I don't want to spend 2 hours preparing to try to fix it for the next run.
Never risk breaking. What?
Rude. That's a lot of Wenjis coming. Hey guys. Oh, that's a lot of Wenjis. That's a lot of Wenjis, actually. Fair enough.
Intriguing.
They all died in my turret? Not necessarily.
Feeling just fine.
Alright, my thought process earlier. My issue with the idea at this moment of the playthrough
Get greedy, Colt.
of going on big expeditions to farm resources that might help me fight Wenji is not only do I feel like I can beat her on my own, but also I don't really know where I would go to try to get more resources to fight her. I don't have like a route that I know of useful places to get certain abilities. The only one I've gotten so far was I got Juliana's ability, which is dependent on her hunting me, and I got Alexis's ability, which is dependent on a nighttime party, I think, is when that was. That seems like a thing I can't just do whenever I want to. What are my weapons? There we go. Ow. Maybe a little less accurate than I remember. Ow. Is this a machine gun or a shotgun? This is a heavy machine gun, isn't it? Or actually an LMG? Probably. Nope. It's shotgunny. Still getting used to what I'm looking at with some of these guns. To shreds, you say? Oh god, turret. Those are actually dangerous in a way that Wenji is not. Oh, I can hack it through the window. Oh, fuck you. Oh, she's not dead. Little too confident that was gonna kill her, apparently. Whoops. Ah. My bad. Alright, there's some company out here. They're not my targets, though.
Already got full ammo.
Listen.
Alright, let's try this again.
So, alright, let's figure this shit out.
Yeah, I'm not sure I would need special abilities to fight her. She's just like 10 scientists. She doesn't have like superpowers. Except for the part where there's a bunch of her, I guess. Oh. Hi. Why are you looking at me like that? We're friends. Alright, so let's not throw it out a fucking window this time. God damn. Oh. My bad. Oh wait. You harvest her. No, I already harvested her. Right. I've got to get... Where was I? I think I was downstairs in the first building. I believe. Because they made a point that her password changes every loop. I have to get the new one. 6150. Different. That was such a stupid mistake. So what happened is the thing said that they were going to suck the oxygen out of the room, or that seemed to be what was suggested by that diagram. So I thought I would shoot out a window and then they can't kill me with the oxygen thing unless like shutters come down or something. But you know, I just thought I was being smart. But then I fucking threw the thing instead of shooting. Because one click is throw your thing and one thing is shoot your other gun and so on. It's just... it's the whole thing. Okay. So now we'll head over here.
All right. Now, just get in this tube shower thing and press the button.
Shit, how the fuck am I supposed to do that?
Stand on the plate. Shoot the button. All right, science, let's dance.
This seems safe. Are you sure you should have all your guns with you? Or even be wearing clothes? Some side effects. That's a small price to pay to hold onto your gear. Oh. So is it that whenever you want to keep your stuff for your next run, you have to kill yourself that run? Activate the experiment. The machine's humming and the tube's waiting. What are you waiting for, Colt? You only live once.
Oh, what the fuck? It, worked?
Infusion and Residium. You can now spend Residium to infuse weapons trinket slabs, allowing you to keep them across loops. Each infused piece of gear will be returned to your arsenal every morning. Harvest Residium from infused objects across Blackreef and from the glitches left behind by dead visionaries. You can also sacrifice weapons, trinkets, and slabs to gain more Residium. You cannot transfer Residium between loops, so be sure to spend it. When you die and reprise, you drop your current Residium at the place of your death, indicated by a marker. If you run out of reprises and the day loops, all Residium is lost. Okay. I was wondering about that. You have such a specific weird corpse ghost. I'm like, that sure seems like a Souls style, like, get your stuff back from your body, but it was non-interactive, so it was confusing. And similarly, there's been just a bunch of purple stuff everywhere that I couldn't do anything with, but now that all makes sense. What I'm a little unsure is that, do you have to spend that stuff to keep your stuff every loop, or does every single thing you upgrade with Residium permanently become a thing you keep forever?
Oh yeah! It actually worked! Who's the super scientist
Worth it.
now? Ah! You and me, baby. Together forever. At least until I break this loop. Well, what should I call you? Mr. Gun feels a bit, formal.
Mr. Gun.
Gunnislav. Maybe the machine.
Why does it feel like I'm more here? This shit makes no sense.
His voice really varies in how it sounds. I guess it's him talking or thinking.
The adjudicator. Yeah. Adjuda-fucking-cator.
Got a bit more residuum, but how much is it? So now I can start collecting everyone's slabs and keeping them instead of losing all my abilities over and over again. You bet I'm gonna immediately try to keep the teleport one.
Welcome to the soiree, Mr. Kill. Your table awaits, Mr. Kill.
Not being able to blink like in Dishonored really bums me out. Those are some big chunky numbers of residuum, but we don't have much context for how much it's actually worth. Can I still do the tutorial level? Was it through here? It is through. Oh yeah, this is openable. I was just thinking I should give it a go because there might be residuum in there that I will never go back for if otherwise.
Blackreef, this is Juliana Blake. I know all of you are so excited for your first day. Well, I got bad news for you. While you were jerking each other around, Captain Colt has been scheming to destroy our loop. That's right. Our head of security is a fucking traitor. He's got a head start, so drop whatever or whomever you're doing, pick up a weapon, and get ready to kill. Because if you don't, it's over for everyone. And I didn't come all the way out here to get screwed over by some no fun party. Shit. Have a good day.
Is the machete specifically a silent takedown where the other ones aren't or something? Should I be looking into that? And was that explained originally or not? I wonder. I take it to think that the residuum is a permanently collected resource that doesn't respawn every loop, because that sounds exploitable if it did. But I don't know. They might just give it to you more of it forever. Right, I can't double jump. So I have to actually equip it.
They already knew. Pretty fucking unsurprised about the whole thing, don't you think? And here we are, right outside your fucking house. He's a battle-hardened executioner.
Well, they don't seem psyched about the whole thing, do they?
Our orders. Prepare for possible high alert in big fucking letters. You don't think that's a coincidence that we're here?
Wait, what? I'm just a biologist.
Oh my god.
There's no plants or animals on this.
They're totally just some dudes.
What was I doing again?
I didn't imagine that, I think. What the fuck? Did they even investigate it? You fuck!
Hello, boss. It's Colt.
So the people in this intro area are just canonically not ready to fight you. That was not the effective distraction. I mean, it did, and that they all looked at it, but no one investigated it, and then they immediately turned around and just started walking around instead. So not what I would have hoped for. Unfortunately... Oh, is this already open? No. I think they said this is her house. Dear Colt, while you were all earth, owie, my head, sand this morning, I was making my way back to my favorite haunt in the heart of Blackreef. How's your head now? Better? No? Well, it isn't all bad news. This island's big enough for both of us. Catch me if you dare. Smooches, Juliana. There is a note that she's not in her house and you can't go back and get her there. But I was just looking for any residuum that might be lying around in this otherwise a relevant zone that I can only access when they let me do it, because it seems like the other time I looped they skipped it. But instead it seems I had done wasted my time. It feels really weird not having double jump. Because I always have double jump, but in the intro you don't. Because you pick it up during the intro. And I think you can only equip stuff during the screen. I'm just gonna always call it the screen, I guess. It's the one screen. The time you have a screen for a bit between missions. You know, the screen. Anyway, I eventually accomplished my goal. It's just I fucked up and then failed it in a really dumb way, and then that made it take longer. Womp womp. It just felt like I should fast forward to unlocking however the game is supposed to work. I remain not 100% sure how to feel about this game's opening and how slowly it gives you what are essentially the mechanics of the real game where it really starts. Up to and including the fact that it kind of implied we were done with the intro and then we weren't. And we still weren't. For a while.
Mini Colt. Nah, Colt Jr.? Now that has a ring to it. It's too self-involved. Colt second. Yeah! Colt 2! Colt square! Why the fuck am I naming this gun after me?
There you go, buddy. You caught up. I like how it picks up immediately, like it was just assumed I would not deviate at all. But they gave me the option. And off I go. Okay, so now maybe the real game starts. Hope the next 2 episodes don't end with me saying that same idea again. But it's a long intro. Dr. Wenji Evans was no match for you. You're off on a strong start. With the power of Infusion at your command, you don't need Wenji's tools. Collect Residium by hand and infuse your items when you have enough Residium to do so. Harvest Residium from shimmering... We already explained all this. Yep. There's a new button. Sacrifice them. Sacrifice and Shock Absorber will give you Residium needed to infuse your limp 10. Don't worry, everything Colts can find on the beach. Shock Absorber included will return to your arsenal at the start of every loop. So I can sacrifice this every run? And then get it back again every run, so it's like free Residium? Hold delete. That's an interesting key to go with. It's 500 worth. Hold enter. All these hold down commands are weird. They definitely feel like things that are made for the controller. This costs 4,000. Okay. But I get it for free every run. It's not worth infuse. They're gonna make me, whatever. I have a better one over here that I'd rather save up for. Especially since this thing is a gun I get every loop without the Residium, so it's really pointless to infuse. Oh well. So Wenji doesn't have a slab, but everyone else does, so I should try to get more of those, and then I can have more slabs, and that'd be good. Okay, so it's pretty expensive. That is the starting weapon, and it's of gray quality, and it still costs 4,000. So you need to get a fair bit for a lot of these guns. Hourglass means you have not preserved it. How much it would cost? This mostly seems like unnecessary explaining everywhere. Okay, so if I wanted to... I want to sacrifice you, I want to preserve you. 8,000 to infuse spring healed, but don't I get it every run no matter what? How do I sacrifice? I mean, how do I infuse this? Oh, is it already infused because I had it during the time when I did the infusion event? I think it might have automatically infused my limp 10, making it even sillier that they forced me to infuse a limp 10 that's gray when I already have an infused limp 10 that's blue. But I think that's what they just made me do. There are so many tutorial pop-ups, they mostly seem to re-explain things I already know, or even things they've explained before. Pick your loadout here. What's being explained here that's new? Don't I already know? I feel like I've seen that pop up before. Is this game... I'm confused. Are the tutorials glitched out and repeating themselves? I swear that I've read that one before. Weird. I don't think Prey was like this, or Dishonored. Huh. Alright, well next episode I'll figure out my objective, and I think the game's opened up now, and now I can keep stuff, so now 4 hours in the game starts for real, or maybe it doesn't, who knows.